I bought another thing. Hey, welcome back to the shop and the channel. I interrupt our normally scheduled programming for another unboxing. So a little backstory, I'm doing crown molding for the armor I'm building. Let me get this off of here. Here's a little example I tried on my own. I have a cove bit for the router table, but that cove is too shallow. I want something a little more pronounced, and that's what this gives me, a little more pronounced. So, but something I've wanted to add to the repertoire is to be able to do that simpler and quicker each time instead of trying to do these wild setups. I've done that a few times. So that brings us to a new purchase. That's this thingy. Rocler Cove cutting jig thingy whatever thing. So let's open it up. There shouldn't be too long a video. I'm going to open up and assemble it and give you a general idea of how this works, because like I said, I've done this before on the table saw with the standard techniques, putting up two pieces of wood, clamping them down, holding them in place, and hope the stuff doesn't fly across the shop when you're doing it. So I'm going to slide all the parts out. It should be fun. Oop. Come on. There we go. And hardware. So these are the two pieces of wood that you put on a table saw. Only you're doing it yourself. It's a little different. And they have the instructions like RTFM. Cove cutting jig instructions. This is instructions on how to do it. The instructions. Was there more in here? Oh, bingo bango! Brackets. I knew there was more metal in there. Now it's empty. These are some brackets. So there's a little set of instructions on the back of the box on how to assemble this thing. Not in the manual, as it were. Lay the left and right fences A and B side by side. So, okay, left and right. There's a left and right. One goes on the left side of the blade, one goes on the right side of the blade. Lay them side by side. Attached to tie bars. C, tie bars. These are the tie bars. It ties it together. And of course, it's not an open bag. Excuse me. Of course, every shop has a pair of scissors. That's a hefty piece of metal. A tie bar and the other tie bar. Let's see how these attach. Okay, they have a slot in the back to hold the screw thing, and they sit on a little tower that's on the ends of the wooden pieces. So let's get the hardware. And it doesn't tell you D. T-bolts. I got a bunch of different T-bolts, washers and whatever here, and they're different sizes. So I got to figure out which ones it goes. These aren't labeled or anything, so figure out which ones they are. T-bolts D are the long T-bolts, and there's 4 of those. So they go here. And they go into the slot in the back shaped like this so that it can't spin or rotate or whatever. There's that. Let me bring this over here. Get it into its rest or its slot on the bottom. Oops, I lost one. I should be doing this on a workbench on the other end of the shop, but I'll do it here. There, now I got it. So those are in place, and then these bars, like I said, these are 1/4-inch steel. They go there, like that, And then there's little nuts. I mean, little knobs. There's a whole bunch of knobs. And of course, there's a washer for each one. Now they won't fall off into the floor, onto the floor. Okay, so those are snug enough to hold the screws in place and not fall off. So I can turn it this way and it can hang over the edge if I want. Next, make sure that the long T-bolts, blah, 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 fix the 4 wedge bolts, feed the 4 wedge bolts through the miter track clamps G. And, okay, so I have these 4 black screws that are flatheads. I have 4 of these, spreadable locking plates that you get for working with miter slots. These puppies right here. See, I've got 4 of those, and they're going to go here. So this one goes here, like so. Turn it sideways. This one goes here. So that they're flush. The screws sit flush with the clamping bits, so that they can sit into the miter slot flush. And on top of that goes a washer and a. So I'll put these on now, so I can manipulate this thing around. And again, more of these little round black knobs, like I put on the end pieces here. That assembles that. I'll put the other 2 on. Nope, I take that back. They get this. They don't get these knobs. See, read the instructions. RTFM. They get the finger knobs. Here, these finger knobs. So you can get more torque. So, like that. And I have, let's see, there's this one. And 2 more of these flathead screws that go into the clamping blocks. And 2 more washers, like so, which is cool. Get the washers in there. That's not going anywhere now. Where's the other? Here it is. So let me show you what we have so far up close and personal. So you have the 2 bars. There's a left one and a right one. You're reading upside down, I can see. There's a left one and a right one. And these are those spreading clamps that go inside the miter slot. These go in the miter slot, and the flathead screws spread these out so that they lock into the miter slot nice and tight. So and these are the spreader bars here for this here. So you can, once you get it set up, you can lock it in place and it won't move. Anyway at all. So the next step is to put on this, more washers, get the bags out of the way. So it comes with a hold down feather board, which is going to go that way. You know, the fingers are going to go this way because you're going to push your workpiece this way through it. And they go, let's see. Okay, so the single hole goes here, slides into this slot, which is very much like a, it's a T-bolt that's been machined out. And the washer, and the, come on, get on there. I'm just snugging that down. Oops. You know, it helps if you put the part on there. So what this is going to give me is the ability to do a wide variety of cove moldings and depth of cove moldings. You know, you just can't go down to your local lumber yard and get 2-inch, you know, off-center cove molding in cherry. You just can't do that. So I can make my own. But it also gives me the opportunity to do a wide variety of cove moldings. You know, asymmetric cove, straight cove, tiny cove, big cove, whatever. All on the table saw. Yeah, it does involve a little more work when you're actually finishing the piece, because you're going to have saw marks on the inside of the cove, but don't really care. It's easy enough to get out with a card scraper, you know, one of the roundish card scrapers. Add some sandpaper around. Basically, what amounts to is a small pool noodle kind of thing. So this is it. This is it assembled. And it fits into, let me loosen these up. So you put this in here. And let's see if I'm doing this right. Oh, no. I'm being dumb. Let's look at the picture on the screen. Let's see. Okay, one at a time. So you don't use all of these. So in this case, with what I'm planning to do, I'll use this one here and this one here and remove these. They'll go in a drawer. But you can shift them around any way you want. Take that one off. Take this one off. I'm learning as you're learning, guys, so don't worry about it. So this one goes in here. Get in there, get in there. Get in there. There we go. That one goes there, and this one goes in here. And now you can come across your blade at the angle you need. Let me move this out of the way for now. This is my workpiece width, so I can set the workpiece width here. And here, it's not on camera, I know. I did the same thing up there that I did here. I put the workpiece in here and tightened it down and locked it in place. So now this is the perfect guide for the workpiece. And then of course the featherboard will hold it in place. And whether you're going to go this way or you're going to go this way, you can change out the clamps. And I forget what degrees I need to do what I want to do. Anyhow, so this gives you a general overview of how to use it and how to make it do the cove thing. But this is really general. You need to know the angles and the depths that you're going to cut. Now, what I've done in the past is I've used two things that I've had. First, I'll put a link in the description to a cove cut calculator that you can use online. And I believe that is in inches, but I'm not sure. And then I've got an app on my phone. You know, there's an app for everything, right? I got an app on my phone that is called, I'll get to it, Cove Angle. It's for Android and for iOS. I'll bring a close up in a second. It's a simple calculator. You put in the blade diameter, your kerf width, the depth of your cove, and the width of your cove. In my case, it's going to be this is in decimal, so my cove is going to be 330 thousandths, which is about 5/16, and the cove width is going to be 1.5 inches, or 1.5 inches. But let me bring this in. You can see, bring this up close, and you can see the screen. That's the screen for the Cove app. It's called, like I said, called Cove Angle, and it's available at the iOS store and probably in Google Play. So that's it. This is a tool I've kind of wanted for a long time, so it would make it easier for me to set this stuff up and not have to futz with all kinds of parts and finding ways to clamp my workpieces down. See, with this, I just tighten these down like so. And this isn't moving anywhere. It's stable. It's not moving anywhere. And then you set the featherboard to the pressure to hold the workpiece down to the blade, and then move the workpiece through at your leisure. What I'm going to do now, I'm not going to demonstrate this now. I'm going to practice with it because I need to cut the cove molding, which I showed you. This is one I did roughly, just experimenting. So that's nice. Has a nice radius to it. I like it a lot. Somewhere around here, I've got the piece that I have a piece that I did that has a cove that I did with my cove cutter, and I didn't like. It was much too shallow. It was like, I think it was less than like 3/16 of an inch shallow. So it didn't present much curve to the eyeball. And your eyes are going to be right here. So I really want that to be a pronounced cove. So when I come back to working on this device, this armoire, this furniture, I will set this up again and demonstrate exactly how I cut those coves. But right now, this is just an unboxing, and not a review, just an unboxing, an assembly, and how to use it. I gotta find a place to store these extra ones. I got like 5 or 6 of these things. Anyway, the next video that I drop should be doing the coves and the skirt boards. So with that said, make great things out of wood, and see you shortly. Next video, making crown molding.